All right, so space 7, yay! Hopefully you haven't just clicked around and then arrived on this space, but if you have, then welcome. So what I want to do is walk you through what is in this space, vision. Vision and what it is that you want to accomplish, and really being in tune with that. So let me share my screen with you, and let me just say that my vision has been a really big vision for a really long time. And Robin and I were just reflecting. I messaged her because she popped up on my YouTube from her vision from a couple of years ago when she first started out on YouTube and then didn't do anything with it. And I've got things like that really are the key messages, the key threads. It's still, the video is still up on Robin's YouTube channel, and then that was on my mobile on my iPhone, and then I just got onto YouTube, and another video was about life purpose. So we just get those synchronicities, that vision that we have, and the soul intentions that we set. Let me know, comment, and let me know, have you got a really big vision? Are you clear on your vision? If you've watched any of the other videos here or any of the testimonials, the soul, I call them soul path alignment success stories, people say to me, Iona gave me the clarity in the shortest amount of time. I got clear. Like that was the main thread. That is why I talk about clarity in the 5-day Spiritual YouTubers from Scratch Challenge. And that's at the head of the movement that has been inside of me. And if it wasn't for my vision, I literally would not get out of bed. Like I've had so many losses, and the loss of my son, which I will talk about, excuse me, and the tribute piece, I'm going to leave that right to the end. If it wasn't for my vision, I literally, honestly, it is being in alignment. And if you are familiar with, just making sure you can see, Abraham Hicks, they talk about clarity and the vibration of clarity and just really being clear. And sometimes people beat themselves up when they set a goal or have a vision and it hasn't manifested fast enough. And I would say that if you have a vision, which I'm hoping that you do, and if you don't, then this vision board challenge will help you. That it is the idea is for you to be in vibrational harmony with that vision before you see it in your life. You don't need to see it in order for it to manifest. You need to see it and feel it first. And so that's the trick. And so many people have come to me over the years and more recently, and they allow, because I look like a crazy lady, I talk about this on the masterclass, not allowing my physical reality, what I can see, to determine my vibrational reality. And I'll explain more as why I've created the vision board that I've created. If you've watched Robin Knott's testimonial and you've been following me through these spaces and the walkthrough, Robin had said, and many people had said, wow, other people have said this is a really 5D way of doing a vision board. Well, that's the idea, right? And so I was like, oh, wow, it just came naturally to me. It's the way that I wanted to explain it. It's the way that I see. And my first ever, I had just eaten nuts. Hang on. My first ever domain name was called makeyourownvisionboard.com. That's how I started. That's how I came out online. And I was a vision and life purpose business coach. The vision always came first. They say that without the vision, you'll perish or whatever. But Robin had said, I'd never heard a vision board being explained like that. So for me, like with you, what you're really passionate about sharing, you have a different spin on it. It hasn't worked for you in the way that everybody else is teaching. And so that's what I teach you, to bring that different spin and put that out into the world. And so I'm going to talk about the vision board and what you can see and what is actually behind it, so that if you choose to do a YouTube challenge and you upgrade and you get the YouTube challenge in a box method, or if you're in the boot camp, this is the idea behind it. And not only the idea behind my 7-day challenge, it's taking people off that. So, you know, for the book, the Spiritual YouTubers from Scratch, a Soul Guided Influencers Compass to leveraging your light work and lifestyle on YouTube, that is at the core of that. But not only that, journaling, the spiritual journal with me. Not only did I do my 7-day challenge with each of the topics which I'm going to share with you, and the reason why I'm sharing with you what is in each space, and then I'm explaining so deeply, is because I teach it and I need you to know the purpose of it. There's a lot of people that come to me and they watch what I'm doing and they try and replicate what I'm doing, and they don't know the energy and the focus behind it. So I want to give you that so that you can make an informed decision of not only getting to the end of the challenge, but also modeling what you see and taking it for your own, so you can do your own thing. A lot of people had seen my vision board challenge and heard me talk about the 7 freedoms and the cheers to financial freedom frequency, and they wanted to be part of it, and they wanted to like do something similar and kind of use the intentional living codes, but actually coin that phrase. I've coined that phrase, use that phrase. You don't have permission to do that, like you don't. However, you do have permission to create your own, and I'll help you create your own. And 7s is like just a beautiful number. It's one of my numbers, and 7 and 49 and all the things. And so, and 9, all the numbers. But the 7 is 7 days of the week. And so I'll share with you how it had come about. Remind me to share with you how the summit had come about as well. If I do now, let me just share this with you. The 49 Soul Speakers Summit, excuse me, and I might share this. The 49 Soul Speakers Summit came around. Now it's the Spiritual Awakening Annual YouTube Summit, and I'm like, well, I did a 49 Soul Speakers Summit, and it was 49 days. And one of my guests, this was years ago, one of my guests was like, how come you picked the number 49 plus? And I was like, well, and I told the unsexy version, which was, well, I had this software. This is how things come about. I had this software. This is the vision. This is 2014-15. And I wanted to know before my house was repossessed. So I was fixing to do this vision and my house was being repossessed, right? So I talk about that, my whole story on the masterclass as well. So I won't go into it here. And this software allows you to have affiliates. And I saw it the other day actually. And J-Rocks it was called. And you could do it for free, 50 people. And I was like, I want to be one of those people. So that means I need 49 people to do joint vision partnerships with. That is how the 49 came out. When I looked up the angel number and purpose and different things, it was like, oh, wow. So my guest was like, excuse me, a bit baffled. She's like, that isn't the reason. So I looked up the angel numbers and found out the real reason. And when I did the summit, the Spiritual Awakening Summit, it was actually the Light Leaders telechat show that I'd got like the downloads for, but it was 27 light leaders and they're legendary light leaders. And then I was like, so I mapped out the summit, Spiritual Awakening Summit, and mapped it out with like 2 people in it. It's going to be the telechat show. And recently I'm like, no, I don't want to do that because it's like a real lot of work. It lets me down and blah, blah, blah. And I'm not saying that in a negative way, just in an easy way. And like, would people do that? Would you model it? But anyway. And so it turns out over the 7 months, of the seasons, I was I'm being called, do this for 7 years. I'm like, seriously? Do this for 7 years? Hang on. Do this for 7 years. And I'm like, okay, because I heard, Iona, get ready. I'm like, I am getting ready, but I don't know what for. This whole global awakening. And then 7 years, and then it was over 7 months, right? So I'm like, okay, because I do it 7 weeks, and then I'm like, okay, 3 people, 2 middle Wednesdays of the month, and blah, blah, blah. So anyway, it turns out 42 episodes. And it wasn't long ago. And I said to Robin, I'm not sure why this is only 42 episodes, where it was the 49 Soul Speaker Summit, because it's kind of the same vision. I don't even know, but we do have 7 months, and we have like an after show each month. And then I added it together. I was like, the 42 and the 7. I went, oh, and Robin went, well, I got it. And I was like, I literally did not get it. I was like, the 49. So my vision has been massive. I just wanted to say. And so I'll share my screen. And so if you've had a big vision inside of you, just know that it is manifesting. It just doesn't always look and feel like the thing. And so the 7 freedoms came about. I'm going to come back on the screen. The 7 freedoms came about because the 7 days of the week, right? And I talked about Hello Rod. Do I have his book? I talked about Hello Rod doing his lifesavers, an acronym, and he talks about savers. He's like, lifesavers. These are the habits that he noticed that some of the most successful people were doing in the morning, this morning routine. And so, he was like, what if I put them all together? And I actually need an acronym now. So the acronym was savers. And so he wanted to do journaling, but the journaling didn't fit. So he used S for scribing, and then he's got the savers. So for my acronym, when I was putting, and I'll show you the wheel of, I don't think I have it actually, the Soul Legacy wheel together, it's like, I need these 7 areas, because the Wheel of Life talks about more areas, and I'm like, 7 areas. Okay, what are the 7 areas? Environment almost became education. I was like, nah, there's always education in all of them. Environment, your immediate environment, your local environment, your global universe. Okay, it had to be environment. So I said to my partner, well, because that's why we were creating it, to have that balance and that harmony together, like in union. And I said, well, okay, it's going to be cheers F, because that's all I can do. And he's like, I'm going, no, but I can't make it. It's cheers. And we were like, yeah, cheers to financial freedom, cheers to life. So he said, what about cheers to financial freedom? Because every one of the areas was about freedom. So contribution freedom, health freedom, emotional freedom, environmental freedom, relationship freedom, spiritual freedom, and financial freedom. So he said, cheers, and then to financial freedom. And then I added the cheers to financial freedom frequency, because that's what it really is about, and I'll share it with you. And then we were like, well, we want to set intentions. So I'm like, it's intentional living. And we started to look at what intentional living meant. And it was about living in alignment with your values, your core values, all of the things. And it's like, each one is like a lock. It's like a code. It's like a compass. It's like and all the things. So if you've got a really big vision, I say that to say, you don't know how things will come about. Let them flow. So this is my idea of the 7 frequency vision board. And so this challenge is to support you in your vision for these areas of your life. And so I created the vision board, and then I created a movie out of the vision boards. Let me just play this. It's only 30 seconds. It's on YouTube. And so on the end screens, you'll see the vision board challenge and then the morning routine. So that one video has the subscribe. Hang don't think I can do it. Hang on. Well, let me get off the end screens. And then these cards on it, let me turn this down. And these cards on it, this is how you format your, it's been 35 seconds, your videos to have information to call out. That's why I say sort out the back end of your business, that vision. So the Vision Board Challenge is for all of my subscribers, and that's what I want to help you do. Have that movement. I call it a movement marketing lifestyle challenge. So this is 7 days. And so let me go back. So when I'm talking on the video, then I can say I'll leave the 7-day challenge, the Vision Board Challenge, in the cards and in the description, because I want every single light worker on my YouTube channel to go through that challenge. You know, when you're kind of like, excuse me, do I get to convince people to take my challenge? People that come into my group, do they want the challenge? And we want to have a common thread for every single one of your subscribers to go through that. You want to train people to go through that challenge, right? And so I repurpose this challenge in many different ways, including putting it into a monthly call, right? It's called the Seven Freedoms Frequency Call-in Gym. It's an annual spiritual vision board challenge for spiritual YouTubers. Now, again, it's going to sit on my YouTube channel, and I'll do it the second week of December annually. So I did it the second week of December the first time. People are coming to the end of the year and then wanting to do, you know, go into the new year. So whatever it is that you think people are ending the year with, like if it's their energy and renewing and going in with a new, whatever it is, health, fitness, whatever it is, usually it can be one of the areas that goes through, that locks into one of the freedoms, to be fair. So it might be about contribution that you help. It might be about health. It might be about emotions. It might be people's environment. It might be people's relationships. It might be people's spirituality. It might be people's finances. Whatever it is that you help people through, you can do your own challenge for your YouTube subscribers. So that's the first thing, is your own challenge. And so this challenge will be available on YouTube. And then I have an online teaching portal that it's kind of, for me, it's the light work and the lifestyle. You're doing your light work, but you also have a lifestyle that you've created as a result of doing your light work, or as a result of your awakening. And I awakened through my vision. And when I went through my spiritual awakening journey, and a lot of losses, my life didn't look and feel the same. When my son passed, my dad, my son, my brother, especially when my son passed, you can imagine if you've got children or not, I had to literally rebuild my life again in every single area. And it's common when you're going through a spiritual awakening for life not to look and feel the same. And so that is how, for me, focusing on my vibration. And so at the lowest end of Abraham Hicks's scale, emotional scale, which I talk about, vibrational scale, spiraling up and spiraling down, is fear and grief and I can't remember, but fear and grief for me. And it's like, oh my God. And I wanted to go from that fear to that freedom at the highest frequency. So I was at the lowest frequency for years, and I wanted to go at the highest frequency. And that's how that came about in every single area of my life. I knew having a vision was super important and crucial to aligning your purpose. So I don't have the wheel here, but I'm gonna show you really quick in the Seven Freedoms Frequency community. I'm going to show you this wheel. So if you are going to come into the monthly calls, the call-in gym, this is the area for that. I love that I've come off the other socials, and I love that I built this space. So this space talks about, as I'm doing the journaling, contribution freedom on a Monday, health freedom on a Tuesday, emotional freedom on a Wednesday, environmental freedom on a Thursday, relationship freedom on a Friday, spiritual freedom on a Saturday, financial freedom on a Sunday. So it automatically has people think of me the top of mind. Oh, well, it's Friday, it's relationship freedom. So I've trained my students to say, hey, on a Tuesday, you want to be focusing on your health and setting your intention for the week. Come and do your spiritual journal with me. So not only do we have the monthly call, which is a 2-hour call, but in between, I do my daily lives to hold my students accountable, plus to be on YouTube. And so it's just it's the best model ever. I love it. I absolutely love it. Do you see that? So I'll go into the wheel in just a second. So the contribution freedom, I've scheduled this out. This is as much as it would let me schedule. Trust me, I would have done all 365 days. StreamYard would not let me, or YouTube would not let me stream out more. And however, when I was focusing on just streaming into Facebook, it would only let me stream for 7 days, no more than that. So it really restricted me planning out my business. However, if you schedule out into YouTube, you can schedule up to a year. Well, I scheduled out everything, right? Everything, including my summit, right? So, and including my journal. So in StreamYard, if you don't know what I'm talking about, you have to go, let me show you what StreamYard is. I'm not going to click into broadcasts, StreamYard. I wonder if I could actually, I could show you. Oh, well, it's taking me in there anyway. I will. Yeah, so StreamYard, I've just done the 7 freedoms frequency. So it's allowed me to schedule out my journaling, my content, video content every single day. So all I have to do, I literally can't go in there. If I go in there, it's going to ask me for my mic and my camera. But I will do tutorials on this. But literally go into the studio and it does this basically. So I've scheduled out as many as I could, literally. And this right here, about 20 minutes ago, said, please work. Because I was like, oh, I have to get some of these. This is what I've done recently. Well, for the spaces and more. There's lots more. But the upcoming, so that's my content throughout the year. Like I said, I plan out and I schedule. There's me. So if you've got a vision and it's not manifesting the way that you want it to, so even though I've scheduled this out, this is not on time to the schedule that I first created it. I just want to be very transparent with that. I paused, reined myself in, and took time to schedule this out. And so the masterclass is scheduled, my spiritual journal, over 100 days, right? So it's 365 days. So if it's a 5-minute thing that I just want to do, 10 minutes, half an hour, whatever. And I'll show you how this works. But this, I know what I'm going to be doing every single day, right? It's live. They're live as well. You can actually schedule out with StreamYard now, and you can create a video that is pre-recorded, but it looks like it's live. So it's cool. So tutorials, different things, MMMK. I don't think I've got the mastermind, the welcome, the book. As I do what I do, the free chapter, all of the things, my summit, all 42 episodes are literally scheduled out. I think it might go a bit wonky. Go wonky? Okay. All of them are all scheduled. So your entire summit, 42 episodes that I just talked about, that was in my vision. This live streaming, multiple streaming in different places did not exist when I had that vision. Trust me, we were simultaneously simulcasting all over the place. I shared with you my media tour, my book tour. There's an interview in here with somebody called Virginia Parsons, right? That's how she spoke the divine, #1 divine intervention virtual. Virginia actually interviewed me, and she was a Hangouts queen. And I talked about attracting your soul tribe. And she was streaming in Blab that doesn't even exist. Periscope doesn't even exist now. She was streaming, and she was streaming over multiple platforms because this wasn't easy back then. It wasn't the thing to do it like now. It's click of the button, I can schedule the whole entire thing out. And when you want to, you can actually click over here, which I'm not going to do, and you can invite people in, or you can copy and paste, you can email, you can do whatever, you can have your assistant do it if you need to. If you want to do it, you can. So my 5-day challenge, all of the things that I've done, now I've just taken off the destination. So depending on what you pay for, you can have more destinations. I've just taken off the Facebook destinations today. And depending on what level you're on, this StreamYard will record the audio separately, and you can download it. So you can have your podcast just there. And say if you're recording for your students, then you can have the audio version, and you can click on the YouTube and do something and transcribe whatever it is. It's so powerful. So this is the contribution freedom, and that's how I wanted to contribute, in the world. And so when I click on this and I go to YouTube, watch on YouTube, so this is accumulating me watch time. It's my marketing, it's my connection, my engagement. It's repurposed into, I can't do it right now, but it's repurposed into my online teaching for the 7 Freedoms calls. They're all in here, the same playlist. It's on my bootcamp. Vision is important. It's on my bootcamp. I think I talked about this already. The pre-soul work that you get to go through, I can copy and paste it and put it in here because I want you to be able to get really clear, and we do it annually on the vision boards. You can see that there are so many, it's just beautiful. And so this right here, doing a YouTube challenge, hopefully you'll see the power of it. There are 18,000 people searching for vision board template. Lightworkers, spiritual journal, like nearly 3,000 people. Spiritual business, vision board ideas, spiritual morning routines, spiritual vision board. 320 people searching for spiritual vision board. 50 people searching for spiritual vision board ideas. 50 people a month searching for spiritual vision board examples. They're actually searching for it. Like, they're searching for it. And this actually shows up in people's newsfeed. Somebody's liked it and it's not me. It's not in their newsfeed, in their YouTube feed, even though I haven't done it yet. It's scheduled out. I haven't done it yet. I'm due to do it. So it's just so powerful. And so I talk about in the YouTube challenges method training, Bob Proctor's training that I came across, and the money frequency. He had a series for 5 days, and with his coaches, his success advisors, he calls them, and he was all over my feed, and it was click a reminder for this series. And when something is played in a playlist, when somebody comes through it, usually comes to watch it, usually on the suggested search, your things will come up, and I'll try and prove that in a second with Robin Knott. So that's the vision board. My spiritual journal. all there. So people can click reminders and come and journal with me. And then these two have got key search terms, excuse me, that I've put video tags, basically a description, a tag, and optimizing, etc. And people are searching for the tags. Hang on, where's it gone? Oh, okay, up here. No, let's see. Spiritual journal. Did I do the vision board one? Oh, I haven't. So we've done that. Spiritual journaling prompt, 720 people a month searching for that. Nearly 2,000 people searching for a spiritual journal, right? So it's just so powerful. And once you get the hang of the key search terms and you look at your analytics and things, then it's just super powerful. And so let me see if I can do these tags. Excuse me. So let me see. So they're similar tags. It's not doing it. So it usually shows you where you're ranking for the particular title. That says Spiritual Vision Board Examples, what this video ranks for in YouTube search when searching for this keyword. Before, it would say where it ranks for you when you first do it. Spiritual Vision Board, it's 28. So you check it and see. It's a 36-second video, and apparently it's ranking. That's like, I uploaded it to test it. And then the other videos obviously will be talking about vision board, and they have the same tags. So, you know, when people are searching, your videos come up. I don't know why it's jumping all over the place. It's telling me to just knock it off. So from here, it says vision. Did you see that? Just change spiritual vision board ideas 11. Spiritual vision board examples. How you can find out, which I can't do it now because it won't show up in this window, is and I share this on the 5-day challenge, is, I don't know why it's jumping, that when you click in an incognito window, you can see where you really rank for something. I'm not trying to rank for these right now because they're not even, but they are, once they go live and I've spoken the YouTube language and I've done the thing, it tells you how you've optimized it, how optimized it is, what else you need to do. My titles are always really long. It's ranking number 30. I haven't even done it yet. Well, that's pretty cool. That's good. You know, you've not to knock that. And so down here, if you put something in a playlist, and you put certain words in your tags, like your name and your channel, YouTube usually say, oh, well, that's related. And I'm going to do that with NP Healing TV. Hang on. I'm going to do that and see if Robin's videos come up. So usually if you've done, it's really being really super jerky. Oh, I wonder if it's because I've still got this. Let me stop the StreamYard. Maybe that helps. So say I click on Robin's video, and then Robin comes up, so it's not on, and then see in the suggested, because Robin's got this in a playlist, her suggested video. So is it worth doing a series of videos, basically, without thinking of like lots and lots of content and blah blah blah? So Robin's video is there that she's done. Then another one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So as Robin gets more traffic, she'll just dominate the search. And the idea is to come up in search next to other people's videos as well as your own videos. I can't remember how many that was, but that was a lot. Was it 10 or 11 videos? So YouTube's going to show me a certain amount of videos, and then it's going to show me what, and you can see Robin and her brand in here. Don't ask me why. So the crown and the crowns come up, and it's like a week apart. The blue, the throat chakra. So we'd know because she's just put an emoji. I love that, Robin. You're doing amazing. So the red, the root chakra. Third eye, purple. I love it. So as Robin, heart chakra. Is heart chakra green? Oh, I didn't know that. Oh yeah, it's root chakra. I'm thinking of this. Yeah. So I mean, that's amazing. So one person comes up and then Robin comes up as the next video. And how many times do you click on the next video? Robin's got some more optimization and different things to do, and I'll share with you guys. I haven't released all of the training, but we want to, the tags and the description and the language that you use really does help. So Robin had this vision of being on YouTube, doing a YouTube channel, and you know what she was going to create. So with that said, the idea of doing the 7-day challenge, Robin's done her 7-day challenge, right? She's done her 7-day challenge, and her 7 days, the root chakra, the sacral chakra, she didn't put them here, so I need to put them. The root, I've just said the root chakra, the sacral chakra, third eye, those, all of the chakras basically, well, not all of the chakras, we know that there's more chakras, but the different chakras, the 7, unblocking your chakras, and this was a key search term that was used. So Robin wants to give every single subscriber on her channel that challenge. And the reason why Robin's ahead of me on here is because I was on Facebook, and then I took some time to actually really dial this in so I could teach it even more. So I will direct Robin. And so then for 78 more than 78 days, I don't think she's added them. I think it's over 80 days now. I'm sure I saw 80. So Robin posts her lives in her Signal group as well, and probably in her Facebook and stuff, but I'm not on there. And so you can see that she's taken the topic from the 7-day challenge each of the 7 days, and use that for journaling. And now we've been masterminding, and we're like, oh, there's a notebook. We've been doing research. People are searching for chakras and notebooks and different things, and I'll cover that in the mastermind, on Amazon ads and all the things. So we're getting ready. We're just doing the groundwork. We're leaning into it and adjusting as we go. It's only recent I said, Robin, you're going to need some thumbnails, and she's done the thumbnails. So Robin, you're doing absolutely amazing. Robin is literally my movement maker. If you've watched the last space that I talked about and the movement guy, so Robin did start these on Facebook, and if it wasn't for Robin, I wouldn't be doing the lives on YouTube, because I thought that you had to have 1,000 subscribers before. Well, you did have to have 1,000 subscribers before you can go live. They've changed the rules to now 50 or 25 even. So for Android phones, it was different to iPhones. I was like, what? You went live on what? And it didn't do it for me when I did my first short, YouTube short, and now it does. So I'm going to teach you to title your playlist, title all your videos, really do the research. So Robin's been super patient with me. My titles are too long. However, we want to have this key search term, but we want to have key search terms that we can actually rank for. So we want to be putting them in here. So we'll do more of that. And so, yeah, we're going to watch this space. It's just been an absolutely amazing journey. So with that said, on my Mondays, so Robin talks about the root chakra on her Mondays, and and then, each of the days. So for me, the foundation was contribution freedom. How do I want to contribute? I know I want to contribute now. I put it out there. And so the 7 freedoms has this wheel. I don't even know if that'll. Oh, I was hoping that the wheel. Hang on. Oh, you can't really see it. Oh, so anyway, this is why I went into here, because I thought I'd be able to share the wheel with you. On the challenge, I'll share the wheel. So this is basically contribution freedom, health freedom, emotional freedom, environmental freedom, relationship freedom, spiritual freedom, and financial freedom. I said to Robin, you could easily do a chakra wheel. We had Meade talking about the 7 connectors, about connecting to your spirit guides. And we said, the 7 connectors, you could absolutely do a wheel on that. And I will actually ask her if we can use some of that material, because she's currently not building her YouTube channel now. And she's homeschooling, she's doing different things. And so this can work for any niche, any area, any ideas that you have, that you know that people would need these 7 things, and you focus on those things yourself each day for your lifestyle. It becomes a lifestyle. So Robin's is the energy healing lifestyle. For me, it's the intentional living codes. That's a lifestyle. And so for Makers, it was a spirit guided lifestyle. So whatever lifestyle that you want to live, you can integrate that into your light work. The know, like, and trust factor, it goes beyond that. If you've ever heard that people say, oh, well, people have to know, like, and trust you before they'll buy from you, before they'll enroll with you. If you've ever heard that people say, it's 7 touches, 12 touches before somebody even makes a purchase decision, these are the ways to make touches and to gain that watch time, to gain that experience, to practice, to really make a difference to your soul tribe. And so this wheel it's like the wheel of life, but it goes beyond that. And I'll share what the wheel of life is in a second. Let me share what the wheel of life is now. So you imagine this wheel, and I did a lot of research with the images. Oh, I haven't seen that one. Ooh, I haven't seen that one. Ooh, emotions color wheel. Mad, scared, joy, sad. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You see, you can do it for any wheel. I love that. I hadn't seen that before. Oh, I hadn't seen that. Yellow, orange, yellow, green. What's that for? A guide to mix colors, just to mix colors? That is not what I meant. So let's see what this one is. Let me not get off. Spirituality, health, family, social, friends, personal. So this is the wheel of life. Oh, I love these wheels. Look at these wheels. Argent, finance, travel. I think that's in a different language. Look at that wheel. So I literally have my wheel created: family, personal development, spirituality, how I walk you through how to go through my wheel. And so usually these wheels on the wheel of life, they have a rating between 1 and 10. So you look at the level of finances and see if you're happy with it. Are you fulfilled with what's going on right now in your physical world? Rate it. Go around the wheel, rate all of them, plot it on this circle, this pie chart, this wheel, the spokes of this wheel. And then imagine this is a circle on the outer circle at a level 10 life, some people call it. Hal Elrod calls it a level 10 life. I only discovered that the other day. If you ran this wheel down the road, then would it be bumpy? And so you can see this is a dip in the finances, dip in the health, dip in the family, dip in the relationships. These are quite fine. And so it's what areas do they want to work on next is what, if you in coaching. And so the idea is to aim for a level 10. And so maybe within a certain period of time, you might want to get to a 9, or you might want to get to an 8. And what would you do to get there? For the soul legacy wheel, we go beyond the physical. We go beyond the physical. With this wheel, the physical world is in the middle. And what we do is forget just the physical, like, oh, well, I'm going to rate my life this because of what is going on in my world. You create your own reality. So what we do is we don't get a 0 because you're breathing. We were really clear on that. You know, you're breathing, give yourself a 1. And then the scale goes up to 10 for the physical world, but it goes to 11. And the idea is to use your values as your North Star in that area. And I talk about all this on the challenge. And then the idea is to break through that barrier. So you can see that there's this is why people say it was 5D. There's a dark ring. That's that spiritual awakening for you not to be so attached with the physical and to be in alignment with your higher self, the 11, the gateway, and to be awakened. And you know that your higher self, you have that connection, you remember that, and then you look at the world through the lens of your soul and you create from that space. So on a daily basis, when we're doing our spiritual journal, we're rating our freedom frequency, we're rating our vibration. This is where I say I don't let my physical world determine my vibrational world. So in these circumstances, you need your physical, you need your finances to change to get to that level in order to get to a 10. We don't do that because that is not how it works. That's not how the universe works. That's not how manifestation works. You have to feel it before you see it. So we do the things that feel good, that work towards that, whether you have the money or not, whether you have the changes or not. Say for family, you can't determine and push and pull all of your family, but you can see how you look at it and what does Wayne Dyer say? When you look at the world differently, the world changes, or whatever he says. Do you know what I mean? Like it's crazy to just focus on the physical. So we want to focus on your vibration and live intentionally. And it's not the end game. It's not the end journey. You start to feel so happy and high vibe. So usually people that come into my world, they're so high vibe for so long. And then I do warn, I do say, you know what, you will crash. You'll come down, you'll go back up, you'll bounce back up, but you will, you stay high vibe, there's contrast. But when the contrast hits, even if it's a little bit of contrast, boom, it takes you out. But then you vibe higher and you never really go back to as low as you were before. But in that high vibe feeling, it's like, whoa. And then you're like, shit, this doesn't feel good. So you just train yourself to move up the emotional scale and actually vibe at freedom and love and joy and empowerment, right? And knowledge. Those are the higher vibrations. I love it. So on a Monday, in my world, we're journaling when we're looking at our vision board and we're going in accordance to that. So because I've scheduled out my contribution freedom, I'm like high vibing. And I just click on StreamYard from my phone and everything's set up, all of the links and the comments, and I'll show you anyway. Health Freedom is the 2nd on the Tuesday. And again, that is scheduled out, right? As much as it'd let me. So as I go down a few and I record some of the other videos, I can do the rest. But it's just so beautiful. Imagine, so we don't just go, oh, well, I want to concentrate on this area or that area. We want to maintain the other areas. Even if you've got a high vibe, we want to maintain, and we still want to be progressing in all of the areas of our life. So our environment, I talk about what to include in that, what are some of the things that you want to include in that, some of the things that you want to check in on that. So you actually build your YouTube channel as a Spiritual Biz YouTuber, and you are able to have it all. You don't go so far out of balance that you can't ever go back. You work on your relationships with your family and your friends and your soul family, your children, your grandchildren, your whatever roles you have. You use your spiritual tools and gifts, because many people fall by the wayside and go, yeah, I know I'm a manifester, but look at my life now. What are you doing? You know that's not how it works. Yeah, but it's just, I need to focus on that. You know that's not how it works. So stop it. You can't be exempt from the rule. Knowing about the rule as a light worker, we're here to because we go out and we tell everybody else, look, this is how you do it. We don't practice what we preach, and we don't walk our talk. We don't do it ourselves. We know how to co-create. You saw in the testimonial talking about it wasn't the sales skill of Iona. If you've gone through the other spaces for my prosperity program, he said it was the way that it was explained over again, and those problems and those solutions, and that's in the masterclass bonuses. If you didn't see that, hang on. So he actually went through my prosperity code program. Before the intentional living codes, it was a prosperity code. So I've got tools from that I've put in here that you can use for your spiritual awakening journal. And then the prosperity code program, I'm actually gifting that. I paid, it was a coaching program in a box that I paid for. I didn't create my own. It's only when I created my own that I could really see the power. I watched today some of the videos that I'd done, and it was so stiff and so robotic, but it was still good. A coach at the time said to me, go out and get 10 clients in a week. And I was like, what? I'm not even ready. And I went out and I got 5 for this program. But on the masterclass, in the bonuses, is where where was it? No, it was for my first session. Actually, I put it in there. The guy was talking about that prosperity program. And so we talk about financial freedom. So really, for me, it was contribution freedom and financial freedom. Those were the 2 areas that were having a real knock-on effect of each other. You're not contributing in the way that you know that you could, or you haven't figured out that actually this contribution would equal this amount of money, and you don't feel good about it. If you don't feel good about receiving money, it's because you're not contributing enough. And I say that you want to contribute to the point where people feel like they're ripping you off. If you do that, you'll be good with the money, right? Serving. And so we focus on all of it. So I wanted to share that with you, and I wanted to go deep with you because it is super important. I'm going to try and go back to my dashboard. So you can come in and get on the monthly calls. So I've done the monthly calls before, and people have loved them. They've got results. One of my students had said that, I just don't have the time to do these things. And, you and 6 other coaches are pulling me in so many different directions. And I said, had you have gone through the vision board challenge, because she had problems with, sitting for a long time, health issues and stuff, now legs hurting, when you're working, totally understandable. And I said, if you'd have looked at the health freedom module and set goals in around your health to make sure that you've got breaks, to make sure you'd have been good. And it's like, go through the vision board challenge. It's like, people won't always take that time to go through that, but it is what your life is worth that, right? Oh, and then we have the vision guide. And so one of my students, when I first released this, I released this years ago. Again, this was something that I bought and used. Excuse me. If you don't have your own content, there's something called PLR, private label rights. I share with you. Let me see. I share this on. What do I share this on? The YouTube challenge. Where do I share it? I share it on the movement markets. No, on the YouTube challenge. YouTube challenges versus Facebook challenges. I share it's not come up for me. If I type it into the search, it should. Oh, it's not come up. If you need if I've given that to you, then pop it down below. So yeah, why would it? Anyway, private label rights. I want to say dot. Don't know. I can't. Anyway, if you don't have your own content, there's a way to use private label rights. I can't find it. I haven't obviously searched it for a while. I do gift that as a bonus for the boot camp, and I'm like really disappointed because I can't find it. But anyway, I do give that as a bonus for private label rights. So this guide, how to visualize what you want and how to get it. I had one of my students actually do this before I released the vision board. Before I did the vision board challenge live, she actually went through the guide, right? Just went, boom, just went through it. So there is an introduction. There is why the 7 freedoms, visioning, the benefits of visioning, creating your own vision board, back to the future you, sample, light work and lifestyle day, ideal day, everything I've ever wanted, the love fest. Step 2, set your 7 freedoms soul guided plan. Step 3, take soul path aligned action. Step 4, ask, believe, and soul download. And then don't just set any kind of goal. That's like the SMART goal formula, which I resonate with, but lots of people don't want to set a goal because they're like, well, we set intentions. But that's going to be helpful for you. And it's in the 7 freedoms. I can't actually upload it here, otherwise I would. So I can only give it where I can give it. I don't have I would give it away for free, but I did in my Facebook group, and I uploaded it to files, but I don't have a way to just give it like that. And I'm not sending out via email or anything like that. So I tried to upload it for the file, and it's too big. I could break it down and maybe do it that way, but in the 7 freedoms frequency, you get that. It's actually in there already. Hang on. Oh gosh, why would you do that? But I love it. I love this model. Do you love this model? It's a vision. I wanted to have the contribution that I wanted to have. And I wanted to have my finances, and I wanted to bank 50K in 50 days, or 50K a month actually. But I wanted to have everything else in between. I didn't want to. So there's the 4-step guide in the foundation modules, and how to visualize what you want and how to get it. I didn't want to, I wasn't prepared to sell. I came back online and I knew that I wanted to have it all. I wanted to rebuild my life, and if I was going to rebuild my life, I was going to rebuild it right. And so I don't settle, and I do look after myself. I do take care of myself, and I have high standards for myself, not unattainable standards. I love creating, and one of the things of doing the journal on a daily basis is that's what I do anyway. I was doing my journaling. I've done it for like over a decade now, I think. Or close to a decade. And then I've done mind maps for over a decade. All the things that I just really love, I just integrated into my business because that's the way that the mind works, through a mind map. Many people say, oh, I hate mind maps. And then they're like, oh, I like this. If you're in the mastermind, if you come into the mastermind, you will have to create a mind map. I will not work with you unless you create a mind map. And it's like, really? It's like, yeah, absolutely. So that I can check what you're doing on your mind map, and I can hold you accountable. We're creating via mind maps for sure. So that is just like a given. And yeah, so if you have a big vision, which I'm sure you do because you're here, it's time to really knuckle down and get that vision handled and see, what you want your life to look and feel like. People are beaten up by goals, but really when you set a vision on your vision board in the way that I'm sharing, that is a goal in and of itself. You're looking at your life, and I don't just focus on the end goal. I focus on who I want to become. So that's why I'm saying, with your morning routine, your spiritual morning routine, your spiritual daily routine, your spiritual nighttime routine, evening routine, whatever actually equates to your soul legacy. It's not, oh, well, I'm going to leave a legacy. What you're doing now, you don't know when your time is up. What you're doing now is your legacy and your contribution already, right? And so your health, other people, your ancestors have passed down that health to you. right? How they've contributed, how you watch them work, how your family, your children, your grandchildren, whoever has watched you work. It impacts. I'm that role model for my daughter. She watches me. Right? My emotions, how I manage my emotions, that's a legacy. How many people didn't manage their emotions in your family, in the lineage? How many people did when they've passed that down to you? Environment, where you live, where your family grew up, where your ancestors are from, right? Your environment, what you're going to pass down to your children, wherever you're living now. I talked about the rich house, poor house. That is why they work that hard to pass that down and leave a legacy. You know, your relationships, that's a legacy in itself. The bonds, the experiences, the legacy with your soul clients and their families, that knock-on effect, so they can leave a legacy. Right? Your spiritual, when you pass on the other side, angels, guides, spirit. It's a legacy, still soul, obviously. Finances, you know, a bunch of money, house, property, you know. You want the legacy of, you know, traveling and having your children and your grandchildren see the world. Oh my God. Right? It's amazing. Why would you not want to focus on that? Why would you say, oh, it's a goal, it's beating me up? It's not beating you up. You get to decide. Don't be lazy. Do it. Do the fucking thing, is what I say. Do it. It's in the doing that it births so much. There's no fear in the doing. When you've done it, you're like, oh, why did I do it before? It's beautiful. So that is it for this space. I'm super excited to see your vision board. During that challenge, I will challenge you to record a video and share your experience every day for 7 days, or at the end of the week. The same for the MMMK, same for all of my challenges. I want to see a video. I want to see your face. I want to see you implementing. So how many spaces have we got? We've got another 4 spaces to go. Well done you for sticking with me for this long. I really wanted to explain my space and how I can support you to create your space in your Think of It site, if that's what you use, or wherever you want to for your soul tribe, but definitely on your YouTube channel, because why would you have to think up content every day? Like, do you know what I mean? Like, content for the fucking sake of content. Doesn't make sense. All right, big love. Let's launch, lead, and leave our soul legacy with ease, grace, and flow. Cheers to financial freedom. Now you understand what the cheers to financial freedom actually means. Big love. Take care.